So question 81. These are Texas state questions. If any of you are from another state, these do not apply to you. However, hey, might as well stay on and learn something about how state questions may apply to you. And there's also national questions and answers on the YouTube channel and a lot of vocabulary, and also within our group. Okay, 81. What law governs the relationship with a real estate licensee and a client? Okay, this is exam 3. Okay. What law governs a relationship between a real estate licensee and a client? A, law of agency. B, Clientele Act. C, statute of limitations. Or D, Deceptive Trade Practices Act. So I'll give you a moment so that you can write your answers down or type your answers down. You can't quite write unless you have one of those pads where you can write. So go ahead and type in your answer. And then once all of you all type your answer in, then I will let you know which one the correct answer is. Okay? So don't hesitate. Don't be shy. This is where you want to do it, okay? Because this is where I can help you understand the questions and what the real estate is asking for, real estate agency, or the exams, you know, are asking for, okay? Anybody? Nobody's taking a chance? Going once. Going twice. Okay, Tiffany says A, and Rocker says law of agencies. And yes, the answer is A, law of agencies. Awesome. Nice to see you, Tiffany. Wow, I think I need to close. My computer is for some reason behaving slow. So let me see if I can shut some websites here. Some Chrome. Yeah, and maybe my computer will speed up a little bit. All right, so very good. Yes, hope y'all had a nice Christmas holiday, and that you're going to also have a nice New Year's. I'll be staying home. Who knows? You know, I'm a spur of the moment, spontaneous individual, so things can disregard that on the background. Okay, I'm enlarging the Facebook video. And you so can that I can the video after the session. It goes up right as individuals. So things darn. Hold on. Okay, I'm enlarging the Facebook. There we go. Okay, because I typed the answers in both on StreamYard and on Facebook. All right, number 82. Very good. And let me enlarge this so that you can see it larger. Each resident broker must maintain a fixed office within Texas. Now, what must the broker do when he or she wants to maintain multiple offices? Okay, this has changed. It used to require to have a license posted at each office, have a separate license posting at each office. One license now is acceptable if they have other branches, okay, nearby. You know, it could be like we have branch, you could have a branch in San Antonio, a branch in New Braunfels, another branch in Bernie, but owned by the same broker, okay? So it used to require, you know, to register each office location with a county clerk where the assumed name form is filled, or register each office location with the licensing department of the Texas Real Estate Commission, Or C, obtain a branch office license for each location. We don't need that anymore. Or D, employ a broker manager for each location. We do need to do one thing. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and give you this. Is register each office location with TREC. So we do need to do this. Let's see, Olivia says, taking the test real soon, ending of January or somewhere in February. Okay, awesome. So, hey, practice the questions, practice a lot of vocabulary. Will this live be safe so I can? Absolutely. The videos, that's why I stream it to YouTube, and I stream it to 2 different Facebook, my Facebook Agent Prep book and my business page Agent Prep book. So it's in, not book, Agent Prep business page and Agent Prep Facebook group, and also YouTube Agent Prep. All these videos are on here, Olivia. Thank you for asking. Great question. Okay, so number 82. What's B? Because you're watching on YouTube. I can see by the little link. Oh, I didn't show you the answer for 91. So for those of you that maybe just came on, we're on exam number 3, 81. Boy, I'm really off today. It wasn't 91. It's 81A, not 91. Okay. So the answer was 81A. And now we're on 82, and it's 82B. Boy, I'm all over the place. I put 82.3B. We don't have an 82.3B. It's just 82B. Coco, that's why they call me Wild Lily Handy, okay? No, not really. That follows me from childhood. My brother said I was wild, okay? Once I became of dating age. Can you imagine that? They got to date early. Anyway, so number 83. So this is awesome that y'all are here, being that, it's almost the end of the year, but what? We're all starting a new year, and it's time to have new goals and narrow down what our vision is, what we want for 22, and resolutions. Okay, 83. All right, so Olivia says, okay, super. Thank you so much for that. Definitely following your site and on Facebook as well. Awesome, Olivia. And then unsure if I should go ahead and purchase Prep Agent. I'm taking the courses via Aceable Agent. You know what? Right now, Prep Agent has a lot of material on Prep Agent. He's excellent. I used to use him a lot. A lot of my students use him. He's been around for many, many years. He's an excellent source. You purchase Aceable Agent, so continue with that. Use the free stuff that Prep Agent has on his YouTube page, and you can go also to his Facebook. If you want to buy just the Texas, you can do that. However, there's a prep book on my Facebook group. It's up to you. I would say try to save your money for paying all the starting up fees, the national, state, and local fees, which comes to about $405 or $415, and then your MLS dues, and your exam fee, your quarterly MLS dues. There's so much that you're going to have to pay for as soon as you get started. I would highly recommend that you save your money and you look up for free material like you're doing now by attending this. Okay, I've been doing this for over 8 years. Not always on YouTube. I just started YouTube in end of October, November of last year, not this one. But I have been doing it on Facebook and also in the office when I was with the prior broker. So save your money and utilize what is available to you for free. Okay, if you're taking the Texas exam, and go ahead and take it once and find out what happens. Okay, don't wait and be nervous. We all get nervous. It's okay to be scared, afraid that you might fail. You have 3 chances. So once you take it the first time, if for some reason you don't pass, you have a 50-50, 50% chance you'll pass, 50% chance you won't. So why not take it? Hopefully you'll get the 50% or more that you'll pass, right, with a 70% score. If you don't, then you study the material that you are weak on, okay? Don't let that hold you back. So for right now, study what you have and what Prep Agent has for vocabulary and national, and you can study state on here. All right, number 83. Any other questions? Very good. A real estate broker routinely advises her clients to strike the provision in the sales contract referring to a suit for specific performance. She also adds to the special provisions paragraph that if buyer's inspection is unsatisfactory, the buyer may terminate the contract. This broker is doing what? A, performing her fiduciary duties to her clients. B, giving her clients good business advice. C, practicing law. Or D, practicing brokerage. I'll give you a moment to answer the question. Remember to type the question down and then the answer. Okay, Tiffany says C, which is practicing law. Anybody else? There's several on here, so go ahead and answer. Okay, if nobody else, the answer is 83C. Very good, Tiffany. Practicing law. That realtor is practicing law. That is something that we cannot do. We are not attorneys. We are realtors. We follow what the contract says. They have already been created by a 13-member board, 6 attorneys, 6 brokers, and 1 civilian, and we utilize them. We fill in the blanks. We only write things in the special provision that a buyer or seller wants us to put on there that is not available on an already promulgated form. We don't have a promulgated form to state that buyer is going to do a final walkthrough. We can put that on there. There's not a whole lot that we can put on there that doesn't have a document already prepared. You know, I won't say that there isn't anything. There are some things, okay? However, we do not scratch anything out. If they decide to go to an attorney can do that. That's what they are, attorneys. You know, I would advise them to go to a real estate attorney, and we can allow them, okay, they have the right to take all their documents to a real estate attorney or any type of attorney that they may have. Okay, very good. 83C was the answer for that. Awesome. Okay, number 84. The Texas Real Estate Broker Lawyer Committee. Oh gosh, I just gave you the answer. If you were listening, you're going to know the answer to this. So the Texas Real Estate Broker Lawyer Committee is made up of what or whom? A, 6 real estate brokers and 6 lawyers appointed by the governor. B, 6 real estate brokers appointed by TREC, 6 lawyers appointed by the president of the state bar, and 1 public member appointed by the governor. C, 6 real estate brokers, 3 lawyers, and 3 public members appointed by the governor. Or D, 6 real estate brokers, 6 lawyers, and 1 public member, all appointed by the governor. So who do you think appoints who? And how many did I say there were? I gave you the answer. All right. Fourth here in the comment section. Okay, I'm not understanding what you said. Okay, Tiffany says 84B. So Olivia says she's the 4th in the YouTube. Okay, I'm not. No, that is not correct, Olivia. The national is 85 questions. The state is 40. So you get 125 questions. And the reason why there's 85, because brokers also take that exam and they're graded on a higher number of questions. And the state is 40 and you have to get a 70. So you're graded on 30 questions. So what did you put, Tiffany? B? No, you're right, Tiffany. The answer is 84B. 6 brokers appointed by TREC. 6 attorneys or 6 lawyers appointed by the president of the bar, and 1 public or civilian appointed by the governor. So you're right. Okay. Yes, sometimes we second guess ourselves, and don't feel bad. I do the same thing. Okay. All right. So 84 was 6 real estate brokers, 6 attorneys, and 1 civilian. All right, number 85. I'll zoom this a little bit more, make sure we have a larger screen. Hey, thanks for joining me tonight. I don't feel so lonely. All right, who does the buyer employ when signing a buyer's representation agreement? Oh, you know what? I just remembered something. And so whenever there's a question that's outdated, I'm highlighting it. Oh, okay. How do I select the highlight tool? So this question, anything that I highlight is an outdated question. And I have to remember to save it. Oops, I'll save it later before we come. Okay, so you know what? Our mind sometimes goes back. Oh man, not all those. No. Oh, that's weird. Look at what it did. It created okay, I have to do that. I don't want the tool anymore, so let me unclick it. Okay, good. All right, we're on number 85. So who does the buyer employ when signing a buyer's representation agreement? A salesperson, B, a broker, C, a principal, or D, a consumer? So who does a buyer employ when signing a buyer's rep? So we're the buyer agent. The buyer signs a buyer representation agreement. So who does the buyer employ? Yes, Tiffany. For the most part, it's not 100%, but yes, stick to your first answer. You know, sometimes future questions will help you realize that you may have answered a prior question incorrectly. So you can always go back before you complete that exam that you're on. Okay, so 85, Tiffany says 85B. Anybody else? Come on, don't be shy. Oops. All right, well, I already input the answer. So yes, 85B, the broker. All agreements, contracts, listings, purchase, sales contracts, they belong to the broker, and we are the associate for the broker. We being the salesperson, the agent, the realtor. Okay? Very good, Tiffany. And if you see me looking at different screens, it's because I've got a screen over here on my left. Let's see. On my left and another one on my right. So I have 3 monitors, left, right, and middle. And so I'm looking at the questions on my middle monitor and I type them on the left screen. Okay, I'll have to minimize this. All right, number 86. Okay. And there is always a little delay sending the signal to Facebook. I think on YouTube, I think it's more updated. Let me see here. No, it also has a delay. Okay. On StreamYard, it's up to speed. Okay, number 86. Again, anybody that just came on, these are state questions for Texas, Texas state questions. A closing occurs on July 5th. Write that down, on July 5th. According to the terms of the agreement created by using the Texas Real Estate Commission, known as TREC, T-R-E-C, 20-6 form, which of the following statements is true? Okay, so one of the following statements is true, 3 are not. A, the buyer will be responsible for paying the ad valorem tax for July 5th. B, the seller is responsible for paying the ad valorem tax for July 5th. C, ad valorem taxes will be prorated to the day of closing. D, the seller will pay the ad valorem taxes for the current year prior to closing. So select, not click. Type your closest best answer. Last question before you go. Okay, not a problem, Olivia. The video will be here, okay? And you can also join the Facebook group and you'll be able to watch it from there. Let's see here. Copy. So giving you a moment for 86 to type your answer in. So July 5th is the closing date. Who pays for what? How is it prorated? So Tiffany says 86D. Anybody else? Not correct, Tiffany. So I would give it another try. Take another whack at it. You're going to take another chance at it. The answer is actually 86B. Yes, the seller will pay the ad valorem taxes prorated to the day of closing. So that means the seller is responsible for paying the ad valorem taxes for July 5th. Okay? And let's see. Are both tests the same every year or do they change? Now, Olivia, there are so many versions of the exam. You will never get the same exam twice. Okay? It's a random generating exam of so many that they've created. So Pearson, every time you go, doesn't matter what year, you're going to have probably a different exam. Okay? So never expect the same questions. You might get some similar questions, but you're going to get some questions that you've never heard of. You never thought you studied. They're making us think. Okay. So the answer is no, you don't get the same test. You will get a Texas exam of 40 questions and a national exam of 85. That you will get. You'll always get a national and a Texas exam. National 85 questions, Texas 40 questions. You're very welcome. So that's why it's good to go over, practice lots and lots of exams. And this book, okay, the Texas Real Estate Sales Exam, 4th edition. It's free. It's online. Texas Real Estate Sales Exam, 4th edition. It's on our Facebook group. Download it and study. It's 287 pages. Because look, exam 1, 2, 3, and 4, it has the answers. It explains the answers. Awesome. Okay, let me show you. I have this on a different monitor. See, let me show you how it wow, what the heck? Where did the answers go? Oh, they're on the bottom. See how it explains the answers? It's an awesome book. Most books do not do this. I've only found a couple of books that explain the answers in addition just to giving you the problem number. See here how they explain the answers? So I love this book, and that's why several of my students referred it to me. Years ago, actually, back in 2014, I've had hundreds, okay, of students. Some used to come to the office where I was at in South Texas, and some here in San Antonio. When COVID hit, the in-person study group that I had, the review group, shut that down, okay? Because we couldn't go to the offices. All right, number 87. Dave Gates, a widower, died without leaving a will or other instructions. His surviving children may acquire ownership of his real estate holdings by how? A, adverse possession, B, eminent domain, C, escheat, or D, law of intestate succession. Succession. Did I show the answer for 86? In case I didn't, there it is. So think about it and write the answer down. Be brave. Don't be shy. Don't be a secret agent. When you start real estate, we're going to tell you, don't be a secret agent, okay? Be out there and about. Express yourself, ask questions, type answers, do it. Nobody's going to try to answer this one? Okay, the answer for this is 87D, law of intestate succession. Okay, one of my students in the past let me know that the way they remembered it is intestate has the word in, the syllable in at the beginning. They would say within or without. So with intestate means without a will. And just intestate means, or I'm sorry, testate, that has no in on it, right? So it has a will. So within, without, intestate, right? Within, without, intestate. Testate with a will. No, escheat is, see how what I mean about Happy New Year, Olivia. Yes, to you and your family, Miss. Thanks much. Care for yourself. And I'll definitely connect with you very soon. Awesome, Olivia. Happy New Year to you also, and start an awesome one. No, escheat, okay, is if there are no heirs, there's no will, there are no living heirs, then it goes to the state. Okay, the state will do research, okay, to see if there's anybody that they can find. If nobody is found, then it's belongs to the state. Okay. So this is why I also stress lots and lots of vocabulary. All right, number 88. When a salesperson leaves the association of a broker for any reason, okay, a salesperson leaves the association of a broker. So they leave a brokerage, okay, for any reason. How soon must the broker return the salesperson's license to the Texas Real Estate Commission on its TREC and notify the salesperson in writing that the sponsorship is terminated? So when the salesperson leaves the association of a broker for any reason, how soon must the broker return the salesperson's license to Trek and notify the salesperson in writing that the sponsorship is terminated? A, immediately. B, within 5 days. C, within 10 days. D, within 20 days. Okay, Tiffany says A. Anybody else? You're correct, Tiffany, immediately. Because as soon as somebody terminates a relationship or the broker were to lose their broker license, then everybody becomes inactive under that broker. They have to immediately move to another brokerage. In this case, the salesperson left the broker, so the broker needs to return the license immediately to Trek. So 88A. That is correct. Very good. Okay, number 89. Okay, I have to make this one. Well, maybe not. No. Yes, a little bit smaller. Okay, there we go. 89. A licensee avoids mentioning negative important facts that he or she knows to be true in this or her presentation to a potential purchaser of real property. The licensee is doing what? So a licensee is avoiding mentioning negative important facts that he or she knows to be true in his or her presentation to a potential purchaser of real property. So this realtor is working with a buyer and doesn't tell them negative facts about the property. So the licensee is what? A, may be charged with misrepresentation by omission. B, is practicing good business. C, may be in violation of the Truth in Lending Act. Or D, is only fulfilling his or her fiduciary duty to the seller. Ooh. What is one word that we learn a lot that we have to do? Tiffany says A, which is may be charged with misrepresentation by omission, which would mean that that realtor or agent is not disclosing material fact that they know about the property. And what is that word that we know a lot? Disclose, 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 right? Cover your rear end and disclose always. That's our requirement. Whether we represent that buyer or not, we must disclose any material negative facts that we know about the property. It's not just to clients, it's also to customers. Okay? That's to be honest and fair and ethical. All right, number 90. Okay, this is a long one, so I've got to minimize. When a buyer makes a request to a seller to amend a contract during the option period and the seller fails to respond, what is the status of the contract 2 days after the option period has expired? So first of all, you need to know what an option period is. When does that take place? So that buyer requests to a seller to amend a contract during the option period. So of course the buyer is doing it through the buyer agent, and the buyer agent to the seller agent, and the seller agent to the seller. So a buyer makes a request to a seller to amend a contract during the option period, and the seller fails to respond. So the seller sits on it. What is the status of the contract 2 days after the option period has expired? Okay, so the option period expired. So what happens? A, the contract is null and void because the request to amend serves as adequate notice that the buyer does not wish to proceed. B, the contract is enforceable and the buyer is obligated to complete the transaction under the original terms and conditions. C, the option period is automatically extended until the seller responds. Whoa. D, the contract incorporates the buyer's request changes and moves to closing since the seller did not object to the changes. I need to minimize some more. Okay, so there's a contract between a buyer and the seller. Buyer wants to make a change to the contract during the option period. However, the seller doesn't respond and the option period expires. What happens? What is that, 90? Okay, Tiffany says 90A. Come on, whoever else is on here, take part and type your answer in. Tiffany, that is not accurate. So take another chance. Take another try. Pick another answer. Oh my gosh, I'm really off today. I'm typing question 93, right? And the number is 90 or 83. Okay, 93D. Sorry. No. The answer is B. The contract is enforceable and the buyer is obligated to complete the transaction under the original terms and conditions. Okay, if the seller does not respond before the option period expires, that buyer must make a decision. Either they terminate the contract so that they don't lose their earnest money, or they're going to realize that if they don't say anything, their option money is now at risk. Okay? The fact that they asked something and the seller didn't reply does not make it, okay, automatically extendable, nor incorporates the buyer's requested changes. No, any changes must be signed by both parties. Okay? Not just by one. So it is, the contract is enforceable and the buyer is obligated to complete the transaction under the original terms and conditions, because the option period expired and so it went past 2 days. So the process is continuing. The lender is continuing the process. The title company is continuing the process. There's nothing that changed where both parties agreed and both parties signed and the amendment was executed. Meaning executed that both parties agreed and both are knowledgeable and informed. Okay, so the answer is B. Does that help, Tiffany? So you first said A, the contract is null and void. No, it is not null and void. In the state of Texas, if the seller sits on it, it means they don't want to make a decision. They don't like what the buyer offered. So it continues on. The last one said contract incorporates the buyer's requested changes and moves to closing since the seller did not object. No. So if the seller didn't respond, they're objecting to it, but they didn't sign. Therefore, the prior decision, that's what is current. Yes, makes sense. Both parties have to agree. That is correct. Agree and in writing, sign, and the realtor execute the amendment. Okay. 91. Very good for writing that, Tiffany. So 90 was B. All right, 91. In order for a broker to bring suit to collect a brokerage fee, The broker must do all of the following except. So all of the following are true except for one, right? So in order for the broker to bring suit to collect a brokerage fee, the broker must do all of the following except one. A, notify the buyer in writing to have the abstract examined by an attorney. B, have the transaction closed. C, obtain a written employment agreement signed by the person to be charged. Or D, be actively licensed. So which of the following is not an item where the broker can bring suit? Because remember, we're performing our fiduciary duties in order for us to get paid. All right. So are we to notify the buyer in writing to have abstract examined by an attorney? Yes. The abstract, which is a title commitment, is done at the title company where we take a contract. However, if the closing is happening by an attorney, the attorney is going to order the title abstract through the title company. The title company will deliver it to the attorney because attorneys are not allowed to do title commitments or title insurance. That's what a title company is for. So the attorney will examine it, right? It's a legal document. B, do we have to close the transaction in order to earn our commission? No. C, do we obtain a written employment agreement signed by the person to be charged? Yes. Do we have to be actively licensed? Yes. So we can earn our commission when we do A, C, and D. A transaction does not have to close. So let's say we have a contract as a buyer agent. We take it to the listing agent. The listing agent presents it to the seller. So the buyer agent and the listing agent already performed their duties. And the seller just says, you know what? I don't like this offer. No, I don't want it. I'm not going to accept it. So if this, or I'm going to take the market off. I don't want to sell it after all. Well, we already did our job. That seller has to pay the commission. So we can bring a suit to collect our brokerage because the seller decided to take it off the market after they received a contract brought to us by a buyer agent and delivered to the seller. We did our job, which is to attract a buyer, a ready, willing, and able buyer, whether it be attracted by us as the listing realtor or by a buyer's agent. We did our job. We owe to get paid. That seller would have to pay whatever commission was agreed upon between the listing realtor, the broker, and the client. So if it was 6%, and that broker realtor has to give the buyer, pay the buyer agent 3% if that's what the MLS says, which is 50-50, 3% on the listing side, 3% on the buyer side. Okay. So yes, the answer was 91B. Very good, Tiffany. All right, moving right along. All right, 92. Which of the following licensed entities does not fall under the regulatory authority of the Texas Real Estate Commission, known as TREC? So what's it asking? Which of the following licensed entities? Okay. does not fall under the regulatory authority of TREC? A, real estate broker or salesperson. B, real estate inspector. C, certified general real estate appraiser. Or D, real estate service company. I'm sorry, real estate residential service company. So which entities doesn't fall under TREC, licensing them or regulating them? Many individuals miss this one, but think about it. And who does TREC license, or who does TREC not license? Okay, think about it that way. Take another chance, Tiffany. Residential service company is not. So that's like a home warranty company. They regulate that. One more try. Yay! Real estate appraisal. Texas Real Estate Commission does not regulate nor license real estate appraisers. TREC does license real estate broker, salesperson, a real estate inspector, residential service company, brokers, which become property managers, or right-of-way easement providers. So 92, yay! You got it. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. I'm glad we have a sense of humor here. So 92, very good, very good. All right. So 93, oh, that's a long one. I've got to minimize the screen. Wow. I have to minimize it even more. Okay, there we go. You know what? Sometimes you do. So let's say you answer this question wrong and you answer future questions and you know those and you're like, oh my gosh, that's going to help me answer. Go back and answer a prior question that I know I answered it wrong. Sometimes it does. So you can go back and re-answer it. You can't take a second try after you finish the exam. Yeah, you only get one chance there. But during the exam, that while you're answering the 40 questions, another one might help you answer a prior one or a future one. Okie doke, 93. Let's see, anything else here? I want to make sure nobody else is commenting. Okay. Which of the following statements is true with regard to the seller's disclosures of property condition? That's the seller disclosure notice, approved and published by the Texas Real Estate Commission, known as TREC. A, it is promulgated addendum that must be attached to every contract for the sale of a previously occupied single-family residence. B, it must be delivered to the buyer prior to closing. C, if it is not made a part of the contract is unenforceable if either party decides to terminate it. D, the form is approved by Texas Real Estate Commission for voluntary use to make it easier for sellers to make the disclosures called for Section 5.008 of the Texas Property Code. So what is the seller's disclosure property condition form used for? It's actually like 5 pages long. Question, are we on 93? Take a moment, answer your question. So let me ask you, Tiffany, if the property is a piece of land, is a seller's disclosure notice required? No, right? So it's utilized to disclose the condition of the home, okay, and that a person lives in. So which of the following statements is true with regard to seller's disclosure of property condition? So the land, okay, it's going to be land just sitting there. They're not living in the land unless they're on a tent, but they're not going to be able to sell the tent, okay, as part of the land. They're only going to sell the land. So whenever individual sellers are selling a piece of property with a home on it, with a residence that they live in, the form makes it easier, okay, for sellers to disclose the conditions of their home, not of land, not of commercial property, and not a brand new home. So builders do not have to do a seller's disclosure on a brand new home because it's never been occupied. So it is for seller occupied homes to make it easy for sellers to disclose the condition. So 93D. So yeah, we don't use it on land. We only use it on residential, 1 to 4 residential home, because right, 1 to 4 is considered residential. Anytime it goes over 4, then it's considered commercial. Okay. All right. I think with that, we're gonna call it a day on question 93. Do we want to do one more? It's already 6:59. So you know what? We'll leave it at 93. Okay. So any questions before we call it a night on Texas real estate law, practices, math, agency, okay, anything that deals. One more? You want one more? All right. One more. It seems like an easy one. It's a short one. We'll do one more. All right, number 94. A seller and his real estate agent have a duty to disclose. A seller and their real estate agent have a duty to disclose. Well, which one of the following? A, the murder of a person on the premises of a property. B, a suicide on the premises of a property. C, a death by natural causes on the premises of a property. Or D, both A and B. A seller and their agent have a duty to disclose. So which ones must be disclosed? So the word says have a duty to disclose. Okay, Tiffany says A. Anybody else? There's quite a few on you here, which is awesome, right? On Christmas holidays. I had 3 Zoom calls today, okay? So there were a lot of us that are working, coaches, the realtors, and other realtors that are looking to make a change. All right, yes, the answer is A. A seller and the real estate agent have a duty to disclose a murder because people don't want to be in an area where there's a lot of crime or there's a child molester or other, okay? They don't have to disclose a suicide or a death by natural causes. A murder or something that somebody died because they were injured, had an accident in the home, yes, okay? Because that is material fact about the home that caused somebody's death. All right, so any questions? Before now, we call it a night. Okay. Hey, so remember, this is Wild Lillie Hendy coming to you from San Antonio, my private home, right? Because we all work at home, and I am with a virtual company. So remember to, if you're on my YouTube channel, hey, subscribe to the channel, click on the little bell so that you're the first to get notified whenever I post a new video or I go live, and like it. Write some comments, okay? Give me some cheers, send me some love. When people like it and they subscribe, YouTube promotes my channel. More people get to find it and know about it. And on Facebook, like the video. Tiffany, thank you so much. Yes, Wow Lillie Hendy, that's my branding name. I am going to be changing the banner on the YouTube channel to make it for students and for realtors, okay, that want to learn how to build their business, things to do, things not to do. So there'll be some new changes coming in the new year, 2022. Wow, man. Oh my gosh, my iPhone is responding, right, Siri? So awesome. Have an awesome, awesome, happy new year. Thank you for attending all the classes, all the lives, watching the videos to help you pass your exams, and keep studying vocabulary, and more vocabulary, okay? And that'll help you on the national exam questions and also on state, and study lots and lots of questions. Find as much as you can for free and save your money for when you start your business, because real estate is your business, not just a career. It is your company. It is your business. It is our business. It's my company. It's my business. I'm a boss, right? I'm the boss lady. You got it? Okay, y'all. Catch you later. Until next time. Happy New Year.